Hi, Algebra 1. This is page 187 and 188. This is the review because we have the quiz. So try these problems before you watch the video, or maybe have the video playing as you're working through it and pause it while you can try it. So the first one, we want to put this in point slope, so x1, y1, x2, y2. We then want to find the slope, so our slope is going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which gives me 9 over 3, which reduces to 3 over 1. You can keep it as 3 over 1 if you want. And then it says use the first point to point in point slope. All right, so this is a positive 2, so it'll be a negative 2 down here. I'm going to do 3 over 1 for the slope. You could make it 3 if you wanted to. And then x1 is positive 4, so it'll be a negative 4 here. So there's our answer. Number 2, we have negative 2 comma 5 and 3 comma 15. Again, x1, y1, x2, y2. Let's find the slope first. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. On top, that's going to be 10. On bottom, that gives us positive, so 3 plus 2 is 5. So this is 2 over 1. You could leave it as 2 if you wanted to. Then we're going to plug it into point slope. So they would say in the directions use the first set of points. So I'm going to go y minus 5 equals 2 over 1. X, this is a negative 2, now it's going to be a positive 2. So there's our equation. Problem number 3, we have 8 comma negative 2, 4 comma negative 4. Our slope is going to be, we have x1, y1, x2, y2. Our slope is going to be negative 4 minus negative 2, 4 minus 8. That's going to give me positive, so negative 4 plus 2 is going to give me negative 2. 4 minus 8 is going to give me negative 4. Negative over negative is positive. Reduce the fraction, so there's my slope. They wanted us to use our first set of points to plug into point slope. So that's our first set of points. Remember opposite values. It's negative 2 here. It's a positive 2 down here. 1/2. This is a positive 8, so it'll be a negative 8 down here. And there's our answer. Problem number 4, doing the same idea. We have 6 comma 5 and 9 comma 7. And then I want to find the slope first, x1, y1, x2, y2. So our slope is going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 7 minus 5 is 2. 9 minus 6 is 3. There's my slope. And we're going to use that for point slope. So I have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So my y1 is negative 5. I have 2/3 here. X, that's a positive 6, so it'll be a negative 6 here. Now we want to convert this to slope-intercept, so we want to make it y equals mx plus b. So that means no parentheses. So distribute over the parentheses first. So 2/3 times x is 2/3 x. And then 2/3 times negative 6, make that over 1. 3 goes into 6 twice, and then 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Add 5 to both sides. So that's going to become y equals 2 over 3x plus 1. Number 5, 10 comma negative 9, negative 5 comma 3. Again, I'm going to call this x1, y1, x2, y2. We're going to find the equation, so our slope is going to be 3 minus negative 9 over negative 5 minus 10. That's going to be positive, so 3 plus 9 is 12. Negative 5 minus 10 is going to be negative 15. We can reduce this. 3 goes into that 4 times, 3 goes into 15 5 times, so my slope becomes negative 4/5. Now I'm going to plug into point slope. So I'm going to pick this point to use. I have a negative 9 for the y, so it's not going to be positive 9. My slope is negative 4/5. It's a positive 10, that'll be a negative 10. Now I want to convert this to y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to distribute over the parentheses. So I get y plus 9 equals negative 4/5 times x is negative 4/5 x. Negative times negative is positive. And then realize I can put that over 1. So 5 goes into 10 twice. Negative 4 times 2 is, or 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract 9 from both sides. So my answer is going to be y equals negative 4/5 x minus 1. Number 6, we have 5 comma 12. We also have 8 comma 12. So x1, y1, x2, y2. Let's find our slope, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I get 0 on top over 3, which is 0. So I get a slope of 0. Use our first set of points. Plug it into point slope. So let's see. It's a positive 12. This will be a negative 12. 0 times x. This is a positive 5. Make it a negative 5. 0 times a quantity is just 0. So then add 12 to both sides. This is one of our special cases. This would actually be a horizontal line if we had graphed it. Number 7. Oh, looks like we're missing a parenthesis at the very end of it. So negative 6 comma negative 3. Add that parenthesis on your paper. That's x1, y1, x2, y2. Let's find the slope, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's going to give me negative 5 on top over negative 10. Negative over negative is positive. 5 over 10 reduces to 1/2. So that's my slope. Let's go ahead and use this point in our point slope. So it's a positive 2 here. It'll be a negative 2 here. 1/2. This is a positive 4. Make it a negative 4 here. Distribute over the parentheses. 1/2 times x is 1/2 x. 1/2 times negative 4 is negative 2. Add 2 to both sides. So you get y equals 1/2 x. Negative 2 plus 2 is plus 0. You can keep that 0 at the end, but you don't have to. Number 8 says find the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. So slope-intercept form is this. Oops, there's no parentheses there. Mx plus b. Okay, we have a point that is 7 comma negative 1, and we have a slope given to us of 2 over 5. So I'm going to call this x1, y1. So I have to use point slope first. So I have a y1 is negative 1, so it'll be positive 1 here. Slope is 2 over 5. X, it's positive 7, so it'll be a negative 7 here. And let's see. This one's going to be kind of a wicked looking one. So I have y plus 1 equals 2/5 times x is 2/5 x. Nothing to reduce here, so 2 times 7 is negative 14, so I get negative 14 over 5. Now it's a little yucky. So all I have to do is subtract 1 from both sides. So think about what this is going to do. I have y equals 2 over 5x, and then if I went negative 14 over 5 minus 1, we'll make that negative 5 over 5. That's the same thing as negative 1, so we have the same denominator, which is going to give me negative 19 over 5. So there's that equation. Number 9, it says find the equation that is parallel to number 8, okay, and has a y-intercept. Oh, y-intercept. Y-intercept, remember, is 0 comma b. So in this case, it'll be 0 comma negative 9. All right, so I'm going to use the slope from the above equation, which is 2/5. So I know the parallel slope has to be 2 over 5 as well. Now I'm going to plug it into point slope. All right, so this is our x1 and our y1 now. Actually, we don't even have to do this one because we know the y-intercept, so we can just plug right into y equals mx plus b. Okay, so my slope is 2/5 x. That's the parallel slope. Our b value is negative 9. There's our equation. Oh, cool. That one worked out nicely. number 10, we want to find the equation that is perpendicular to the slope of number 8. So the slope of number 8 is 2 over 5. That means the perpendicular slope, this is a positive 2/5, so this will be negative, and then flip over the fraction. So this is the slope we're going to use for our problem. And we also want it to go through point 4, comma 4. All right, so let's call that x1, y1. So we'll use our point slope and plug in. It's positive 4, so it'll be a negative 4 here. Negative 5 over 2. This is a positive 4, this makes that a negative 4. And then let's get rid of the parentheses and get it solved for y. So negative 5 over 2 times x is negative 5 over 2x. Negative times negative is positive. 2 goes into 4 twice, so negative 5 times 2 is 10. And then add 4 to both sides. So I'm going to get y equals negative 5 over 2x plus 14. There's our answer. Number 11. Write the equation in point slope form. So point slope is this. And let's see. We have these points given, 3, 8 and negative 2, negative 27. So let's find the slope first. So my slope is going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's going to give me negative 35 on top over negative 5. So my slope is going to reduce to 7 over 1. We can also make that just 7. That's fine. From here, let's go ahead and use point slope. So I'm going to use that point. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So I have a positive 8. That'll be a negative 8 down there for y1. My slope will keep us 7. I have a positive 3 there, so let's make that a negative 3. And let's just go ahead and solve this the rest of the way down. So this is our answer to the first part. Okay. Now for the second part, I think I should, for letter A, we want to figure out x when y equals negative 1. Okay. So we could do this a couple ways. Let's not convert this. Let's keep it as is. So I'm going to take my y value and I'm going to plug that in right here. So I'm going to get negative 1 minus 8 equals 7 times x minus 3. That's going to give me negative 9 if I combine those. Distribute here, so 7 times x is 7x. 7 times negative 3 is negative 21. Add 21 to both sides. Those cancel. So that's going to give me, let's see, that's going to give me 12 equals 7x. Divide both sides by 7. So x equals 12 over 7 when y is equal to 1. And then let's see if we go down a little bit more. The answer to letter B, we want to find the value of y when x is equal to 5. Well, let's go back up. I'm going to take this 5 and plug it in here now. So I get y minus 8 equals 7 times 5 minus 3. Do the parentheses first. 5 minus 3 is 2. 7 times 2 is 14. And add 8 to both sides. So y equals 22. So that's the answer to B. That's a tougher one. All right, number 12 is a word problem, our favorite. This reads as, Harold rides his bike to school. 10 minutes after he left, he was 11 miles from school. So 10, 11 we're going to use. 20 minutes after he left, he was 9 miles from school. All right, so let's try and make ourselves a linear equation that's going to work with this. So I'm going to find our slope first. So our slope is going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's going to give me negative 2 on top. That's going to give me 10 on bottom. Reduce the fraction, so negative 1/5. This is our slope. I'm going to use this top equation in point slope. Okay, so our y1 is a positive 11, so we're going to make that negative 11. Our slope is negative 1/5. And then our y, or x1 is positive 10, so this would be a negative 10. And let's see. I think this answer would be fine for letter A, but let's just go ahead and make it as y equals mx plus b form. So negative 1/5 times x is negative 1/5 x. Negative times negative is positive. 5 goes into 10 twice. 1 times 2 is 2. Add 11 to both sides. So that's going to give me this as an equation. Y equals negative 1/5 x plus 13. Okay, so that's good for letter A. This is the answer for letter A. It says write a linear function or equation in function form that's Harold's distance from school since he left. Okay. Letter B says what is the y-intercept? Well, this is the y-intercept. So for letter B, the y-intercept is 0, 13. And what does this mean? This basically means he has not started writing yet. So 0 time that he's ridden. So that means his school is 13 miles away. Letter C says what is the x-intercept and what does it represent this from? I'm not sure why we have a bell ringing, but because we're not in school right now. So the x-intercept, the x-intercept. So the x-intercept would have been blank comma 0. So that's a y value. So let's take our equation. Y equals negative 1/5 x plus 13. And we're going to put this a 0 in for the y. And let's go ahead and solve it. So subtract 13 from both sides. Multiply both sides by negative 5. So x equals 5 times 13, which is 65. So that's 65. What does this mean? 65 minutes after he left school, he got home. So it's a long bike ride, over an hour. Letter D says, what is the slope and what does it represent? The slope is this. What does it represent? So it takes him, so this is time, and this is miles. Let's see. Nope, I take it back. This is miles, and this is time. So for every 1 mile he rides, takes 5 minutes. Letter E, after he's ridden for 30 minutes, how far has he gone? So let's take our equation, which is this. So 30 minutes, remember that? 30, this is going to go in for time. So y equals negative 1/5 times 30 plus 13. So I can reduce this. That becomes y equals negative 6 plus 13. So he has 7 miles. He's gone. That's kind of cool. Letter F. How many minutes will he be 6 miles from home? So 6 miles. All right, so we know our equation was y equals negative 1/5 x plus 13. So miles is going to go in for y. So I'm going to get 6 equals negative 1/5 x plus 13. If you want to get rid of the fraction, let's multiply everything by 5. So those cancel. So that's going to give me 30 here equals negative x, and then plus 65, because 13 times 5 is 65. Subtract 65 from both sides. That's going to give me negative 35 equals negative x. Multiply everything by negative 1 and flip it over. So When he is 6 miles from home, he has ridden for 35 minutes. Okay, that should help you on the quiz for tomorrow, Friday. Have a nice day.